Smells like gear oil?
Yeah.
Oh well.
It stinks.
Tell me the story.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, stuff happens. Oh, this is what we've been dealing with for the last, oh God. Windy. Getting through this shit has not been fun.
Hi, Jay.
The branch broke. So about 5 years ago, I was looking for the greatest trails in the world, and there's one here in Greenland called the Arctic Circle Trail. But as far as I can tell, it's not the prettiest place in Greenland. It's just the only place they have a marked trail where you can dump in. It's an easy itinerary. You start at one airport, you hike 100 miles, and you go out of another airport. But it didn't look all that pretty, so I started looking for more remote places, and we ended up here in Tasermiut Fjord, which is probably prettier than Fitzroy in Patagonia, or at least every bit it's equal. But the one thing we found out, there was no information, and the Greenlanders don't communicate outside people, but in very short sentences, and I figured it was something like we ran into in some other places where the guides didn't want to tell you, they wanted you to hire them. I did offer to pay them for the information, but nobody was forthcoming. So there was a map, it's still in print, is the problem, that shows this as a possible route. But clearly it's not a possible route anymore. The growing seasons, the regression of the ice cap back there has turned that just north of here, the first 3 or 4 miles, actually 3 days for us, of absolute bramble into a nightmare of we were walking on sticks that were on moss that were on, I don't know how far down the actual ground was. We never found out. Well, there goes our ride.
Well, this is my pack, yes?
Yeah, that's your pack. He's going away. Wow. Okay, we got to get up on top somehow. And here comes Karen through some rough shrub.
So, that's the polar ice cap. That is the top of the world. That is so cool. Now, our guide said, Jay, you're better at pointing when you're...
Yeah, he said it was down 1, 2, 3 to this waterfall gap right over there when he was a kid. So it's retreated. And that doesn't look like much, but that's got to be every bit of a couple miles from that gap to thing. The scale of it is...
You can't get the...
No, I was trying to figure out, is it 10,000 battleships? No. You take the city of Manhattan back there and you multiply that times 5,000, and that's how much ice is just pushing up against that. It's crazy. So we picked our way along the coast, end up at that birch. You can see that stuff. It's everybody I know who hikes Greenland says they hated the birch, and I get it. So we got a tide chart with us, so we're making a good run up the side as far as we can, because this first mile is supposed to be nothing but that, but you can see the wind coming off the glacier is kind of chilly. Okay, so here's the problem with hikes like this. Clearly, there's no trails here at all, so we're just bushwhacking our way through. So we follow that up to there, because it looks like that's coming out of the rock is water. We're going to go down to the beach. Just a little question, but 10,000 little ones like that. It's not the scrub, it's the freaking rocks. This hike is murder. Thank God it's gorgeous, but I see why so few people actually come out here. It takes 3 days to get here, and then once you're here, there's really not any sort of well, there is no trail. It's just kind of a suggested route. So what's the plan, Miss Karen?
Keep on going, unfortunately.
Maybe into those flat things up there.
Rest time is over.
Look at this there, though. That looks... See that there? Kind of that seam?
Yep.
So we've come up the shore. Can't show you much more without getting up, but We've come up that shore for, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles, and it's taken us 5 or 6 hours.
Well, the brambles are really
Yeah,
thick.
we'll show you some of that in a little bit. And then looks like the first open space we see for camping is there, but we don't have any water, so we gotta get all the way to those rocks and see if we can see water. If there's water and clear space beyond it, we'll stay there. If not, if there's just water, we'll grab the water and come back this way.
We are not going to backtrack.
Well, I'm gonna follow that slot. If I don't see, I mean, if it's solid bramble past there. All right, you wanted to make the video this time. You talk.
What?
Where are we?
We're in Greenland.
We just saw the polar ice cap is within view here. It's about what, 8 miles north of us, and it's massive. And it's not as cold as you'd think, as close to the polar ice cap, but it may get really cold tonight. So today we walked.
I don't think we walked very
4
far.
miles maybe.
But we walked through brambles and bushes. It would have made a great 4-hour movie.
Yeah, it was tough. It's really tough. So, but it's absolutely freaking.
I mean,
cold.
we scaled rocks. Good thing we go to the climbing gym.
Well, I'm exhausted, so we're going to keep this one short. I'm out of shape and tired and grumpy and good time for sleeping.
Sure. Good morning.
Good morning. We survived our first night in Greenland. We started up just south of the ice sheet, and we got dropped off by boat, and we had to wear rescue polar suits. Karen looked really cute in hers. Oh, the butt came all the way down to her knees. And then we had a hell of a hike. I mean, it was murder. We were walking either on rocky shore or on these, what they're called, birch dwarfs. The problem is the ground is either moss or sticks or something. Very rare that you find the actual dirt. I don't think we've seen any dirt at all. It's even just rock. Rock and sticks, and you're fighting your way through it, and we're exhausted. But we did sleep, 15 hours? And we're in this tent explosion of stuff.
It's Jay's exploded.
Yeah, well, I'm on a little knoll clinging for life, and Karen's got the rest of the tent.
No, I don't.
Anyway, it's time for breakfast and to get moving. It's really clear that there's no trail here, but the path is to there. I'm sure there's something to be crossed there at that ravine, and then we'll shoot up that little slot right there as best we can, I guess. Looks like we're gonna hit some thick up there, but we'll just work our way over those rocks. You think?
I think so.
Cool. Water coming down the waterfalls down the mountain is beautiful. The problem is, oh, it's not a big problem. We get across here. Once again, the chill cheaters come in handy. We're ready to cross some of this. It's just big enough to not want to hop, and it's slick as hell. So here we go. Some more blueberries.
Oh, they come off really easily.
Yeah, show me a blueberry. Greenland night 2.
It was a hard day. More brambles.
It's been, when Karen says brambles, she doesn't, I mean, we're in thicket. We're in, the only thing good
In our
about it,
face.
the only thing good about it is there's no stickers. But imagine, it's just, God, it's so thick you can't move. Sometimes we're down to, what, a mile in 3 or 4 hours. It's so bad. And then sometimes we manage to, when the tide is down, we can run the coast pretty heavily. Anyway, it's been tough, and we're exhausted.
We scaled some rocks today.
Oh yeah, we climbed some rocks. We climbed the crumble cake though, and it was like,
We decided to come back down.
yeah, because some of the rocks were loose, and there were some big rocks being held up by the little rocks that were loose, and well, we didn't want to avalanche on ourselves. So
Really, honestly, this is not an easy hike. I mean, if you do it, great. It's fun. It's gorgeous. Everywhere you look, even when you're tired, is gorgeous. But it's
really tough. So
yeah, it's a tough hike. Just be prepared if you decide to do it. But
yeah.
it's gorgeous.
We're gonna go to sleep now because it's I don't know what, 7 o'clock at night, and the sun doesn't go down until 3 a.m., but we're going to go to sleep anyway. And yesterday we slept 16 hours. We'll
15, only 15.
Okay, only 15, but we'll get
That's the most I've ever slept in my whole life.
We'll get out of here in the morning. Anyway, good night. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But we just came through that shit. That was rough. Found a reliable water spot. So Karen's down there filling up the pouch with water.
Hi, Jay.
The branch broke.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I just don't know how I'm going to get up. See my gloves? I don't know if trekking poles help or not here. They probably hurt.
No, I think they help because we poked through and found some crevices that weren't too nice. I think the back comes off.
I think that boat's going the other way now.
Probably. As a matter of fact, it is.
You can stop now. So we're on the side of the fjord. It's a pretty good drop. The scale of that water is, the width of that thing is, as you can imagine, it's what, 5 or 6 miles. Oh, it's not a little finger inlet. And then he comes around here, and there's Karen getting water. But it's just gorgeous up there. And then there is the giant cylinder, Umosalawak or something like that. It's pretty gorgeous. We don't know what it's going to be over this ridge. It looks like it's one more ridge over to the pretty. Yeah, it's still extremely gorgeous. Oh, wow.
Look, that little tiny iceberg out there.
Yeah, cocktail ice. Getting ready for another river crossing. Looks like it's okay. Look at the view, though. Probably pretty cold coming off that snow.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
We just heard the ice up there crack. Sounded like a shotgun, went deeper. And the ice is going to come down at some point. We've heard it crack twice, but we haven't seen it fall yet, so we'll check in a bit. Yeah. I gotta check in with everybody. Everybody on my list has now gotten a note saying I'm okay. And I'm getting messages coming in. Okay. Night 3, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Day 4?
Mm-hmm. Chicken broth every night this week.
Oh,
and we accidentally got low sodium. No sodium. It's no sodium.
we need
so
salt
our
out here.
body is craving salt. We have no sodium. So we have to be careful next time on that.
So we busted our asses, really busted our asses for 3 days, getting through some just awful thicket and trying to run the shore with the seaweed at, when we had some low tide, and then we had to scramble up some pretty cliffs. One point was a little bit uncomfortable because I'm glad we I'm glad we learned
Came
to climb.
down and went around.
Yeah, but I'm glad we learned to climb in a rock gym. Unfortunately, in the rock gym, I'm not used to having the handhold fly out from under me. But we got used to that pretty quick and started very, very conservative because, man, that getting hurt out here, you're in real trouble. I mean, we're nowhere. The snow up above us on the beautiful mountain is cracking. It sounds like a dump truck ducking or something, or the giant crack, or maybe a
Gunshot or something like that.
something like that. Yeah. And then it just incredibly nice. At the end of day 3, was it today?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of day 3, we stumbled into a place where
Commercial.
It's a commercial eco
guide.
camp. It's a kind of a glamping place. Wasn't too glamorous, but the scenery makes up for it because it's staggering. But the girl said she'd been working there solid for 10 years and never had anybody come out of the woods from that direction. She thinks we're the first people to do it in at least 10 years. So.
And she said that we could put our name on a sign and plant it in the ground as the first people in 10 years to hike that area.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to. Anyway, we are, anything else? I think that's it. We're going to try and go to sleep now.
That's it.
I'm going to pull my thing over my
Good
eyes
night.
because it's too late. Good night.
Yeah, that's right. This.
It's 10:30 at night. We just got woken up by the sound of the ice falling off the side of the mountain. It wasn't a glacier calving, but it wasn't a trivial event either. It's pretty cool. Well, Kara's making coffee. We had a little breakfast, but it woke up this morning. And it is crazy. Can't even see the giant mountains out there. Here's our little spot from the night. The winds mostly come up the fjord, so we tucked behind the rock. I don't think we heard any wind at all last night. It was good. The cloud forms there because the water is so cold. The dew point is what the dew point is. So it just condensates over the center of the fjord, and you get this cool little stripe of a cloud just over the middle of the fjord. It'll last longer. But then coming up over the top, you've got Ursalawasok, I think is what it said. And it looks like Mount Doom. We don't even know what country they were from. Some climbers just came down from there, and then they're up over trying to do that one over there, but kind of crazy. And there's Miss Karen sitting enjoying the toasty summer. So here's the gravity filter working. I don't know whether you can notice it. The water here is just slightly blue because it's coming off the glacier. Night 4, we decided to stay put where we were from night 3 because 1, we're tired. Number 2, we don't want to face any more of those dwarf birch trees. Carol calls them brambles, but they're, I don't know. They're definitely the opposite of the Garden of Eden. They're evil and hard to walk through. And so we decided to stay in this beautiful meadow here, and it is absolutely gorgeous. We hiked up to the top of the ridge, looked around, and came back down.
And we think there's chunks of the ice floe that's falling because every now and then you hear a rumble.
Because the ice is falling off of the rock faces. But it's quite far from us, and there's actually a ravine you'd have to come back up before it could get us. So
it's not going to get us.
It's not going to get us. So anyway, we're going to bed. Good night.
Good night.
There we go. Okay, we are leaving this campsite after 2 days. Headed back to where the glamp camp is to see if we can't, down there, see if we can't somehow summon a boat to come get us. We may be stuck here a day, maybe 2 at the most, but I doubt it. I think we'll get out of here tonight or tomorrow morning. This is where we slept behind the rock. The only evidence of us being here is this compressed grass, and over there was where our fire was. You really can't see it, so. You gonna say anything?
Good morning.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay, this is the second attempt at making this video. Karen said that my finger was in the way, so she gets to have another cookie. I think it was just a ploy to get another cookie. She now has other cookies. This is night number... Eat your cookie. Night number 5. We're leaving here at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'm the same guy who brought us in by boat, and we'll go down to a town called Nanotorlink, and hopefully we can get out of there and get over to Quartartok and hike the second hike in and around Narsarsuaq Airport up to the glacier or up to the top of Kishavat. And there's a church over there that if it's within an hour walking, it's the oldest church in North America. The last function in there was like
12 something.
1022 and way before Columbus they closed the church. So is it Lutheran, is it Catholic? Think about it. Luther hadn't even been born yet, so. Anyway, we're headed there for the morning, and...
Our boat driver's name is Enoch.
And we are headed, I guess that's it. We're done with Tasermiut and the really, really heavy rough stuff. So it's down to the very rough but not completely rough stuff ahead. Good night.